All right, all right. Let's get into some mindset mastery tips, and I'm going to give you really 5 different things that I feel like you need to develop as to really achieve the big levels of success that you want to in your network marketing business. And this is going to be kind of a longer video, and I'm going to share a lot of stories because I believe that stories are the best way to really transmit and help you understand the importance of these concepts that I'm going to share with you. And a lot of you, I'm just going to preface with this, you're going to feel maybe the temptation to skip this video and go straight to the techniques, the strategies, hey, what's the step-by-step? And please, please do not skip this training, because like I said in the beginning, if you don't have the vision, if you don't commit to the mindset, like this whole business is getting your mind right and your feet moving. And lately I've been changing that phrase of mine to say, to get your mind right and your lips moving, because really that's all we do, right? That's how we build a business. We move our lips, we talk about our products, we talk about our opportunity, and we help to cast a vision for people of what's possible for their lives, right? So we get our mind, but if your mind's not right, I promise you, it affects every single aspect of your business. You have to really learn to control your thoughts and really commit to some of these mindsets that I'm going to give you. So I'm going to use stories. I'm going to make it fun, stick it out, and ask yourself, how can you start to change these aspects of your mindset daily and create some kind of daily routine where you're remembering these concepts. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. The first one, and I have to credit Ray Higdon with this because this is something I learned from an amazing guy, trainer, Ray Higdon. And he talks about the importance of committing to the process and committing not to see if the business will work for you, but until. And so if you're newer in your network marketing business and you're joining this business, you're joining a friend of yours or a family member, whatever it may be, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to try these products. I'm going to share them with some people to see if this business works. Listen, you've already lost. You've already lost the battle. You need to choose, and it really is just a decision that you're going to build this business until it works for you. Like when you look at this graph of our earnings, the only reason that we were able to get to this, like look at this spike at the 7-year mark. And this isn't even, that's not even our first 6-figure month. Our first 6-figure month, which happened just barely, which would be what, a year and a half, about a year and a half after, a little less than a year and a half after this spike, which was our first month at a 6-figure income, $100,000 in a month. It happened, like our 6-figure month happened 9 years in. But how many of you have the endurance to really commit for 5 years, for 7 years? It took us 7.5 years to get the top rank in our company. A lot of people got there faster than us, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Okay. But most of their businesses aren't as big or as solid or growing as rapidly as ours is. And the whole reason why I share that with you is because a lot of you are going to have the tendency to compare yourself and to compare your business to others. Okay. And comparison, as we know, oftentimes can be stimulating. If you're really competitive, you like to compare yourself, great. But for most of you out there, if you're sitting there comparing yourself to other people, and you're not just committed to do it until it works for you, then you're going to give up, right? When you look at the first 10 months of our earnings, like you guys probably can't even really see it on the screen. They're like little blue dots, right? We were making a couple $100s a month. We were doing good. Maybe we got up to $500, $600, $700 a month, what have you, in those first 10 months. But it wasn't life-altering income, even though we were working pretty hard. Like we were also doing full-time school, but we were really committed. We were working. And in that same 10-month period that you're seeing these little blue dots of lower income, we watched people join our company and go all the way to diamond or above while we were still at the same rank for 10 months. Okay. And it would have been so easy to just look at them and compare ourselves and think, oh man, like if it didn't happen for us that way, we were doing it to see if it would work. It really didn't work. Um, and so we should give up. And if we had given up back then, none of the rest of this 9-year journey would have happened. We're one of the biggest leaders in our company. We've passed most people who joined years and years before we did, right? And so you really need to make the decision. I'm committed not just to see if it will work, but I'm committed until it works for me. And when you have that level of commitment, that's when you start to get creative. Something isn't working for you, you say, okay, we're going to try a different approach. We're going to try a different invite. We're going to try a different presentation style. I'm going to try a different way of creating curiosity on social media. I'm going to maybe try branching out and starting to use TikTok, or I'm going to try to use YouTube, or you commit to doing whatever it takes, learning whatever skills are necessary for you to get to the top. And so I want you in this moment to make this decision, master your mind right now and say, okay, Matt, I'm going to commit to network marketing until I get the results that I desire, right? I was talking with a friend of mine the other day who he's now a top earner in his company, but he's gone through 3 different companies on his way to achieving this top income earner status. And it's not because he's somebody who has hopped between opportunities. It's because the first company totally shut down. Okay. He could have quit. He could have quit network marketing and said, you know what? These companies, like so many of them, they just go out of business, right? Second company, he had a massive problem that happened within, I won't go into the details, but a massive team issue that happened that ended up getting him super discouraged, but he kept going. And he ended up finding his third company, right? And I'm not trying to advocate, moving companies. I've been in one company for 9 years, and that's part of why we've had the success that we've had. But the most important thing is that you just commit to this profession, right? And he was talking about how that commitment, that the decision of I'm going to do this until it works for me, is the reason why he's where he's at, right? And that's the truth for every single person who reaches and maintains top income earner status. Like you can hit $10,000 a month 1 or 2 times, right? Or maybe for a year or two, but you don't get to $100,000 in a month without really committing to mastery, right? And committing to, hey, I'm going to do this, like going through ups and downs, but doing it until you figure it out, until it works for you. So there's a time element, there's a skills element that it's just going to take you time. Okay. The next piece of advice that I want to give you on mindset. Oops, let me go back here. The next mindset tip that I want to give you is a mindset of service versus sales. And when I first got started, I want to take you back to where I was 22 years old when we got started in our network marketing business. Okay. At the time, I was working a couple different jobs. One of the jobs was at the university where I was going to school, but I also was trying to make extra money so that I could pay for our wedding. My wife and I were engaged at the time. And so literally one of my last jobs before I started network marketing, I was bagging suckers in a candy factory, okay? Where I would, and there's a reason I'm telling you this story, but I'd literally grab a sucker, grab the plastic bag, put it in the bag, twist it, and tape it. And I would do that over and over and over and over again for hours. And I will mention, I got the award for being the fastest candy sucker bagger in the factory. The way you do one thing, they say, is the way you do everything. I don't know if that's totally true, but at least, if you're going to be out there working, try to do your very best. But the reason I share that story is we did not have a lot of money when we got started. Another sacrifice that we made is here in the United States. I don't know if it's this way in the country that you live in, but we can donate our plasma, donate our blood, and you actually get paid to donate your plasma. It's not a lot. And I think you're limited to like I don't know, 4 times or maybe 6 times a month. And I remember we were in the beginning of our network marketing journey, we were literally donating our blood, selling our own blood, our own bodies to have enough money to maintain our personal auto ship, our personal order in the business, and to keep the doors open in our business, right? The things that entrepreneurs do, right? Like we were all in, we were willing to do whatever it took. Now, we literally sold our blood to pay for our products, right? And I say that with pride because of how far we've developed. Now, the reason why I wanted to share these 2 stories with you to paint the picture of where we were financially. A lot of you, like maybe you're doing great financially and I'm happy for you, but a lot of you are not. You're not in the financial situation that you desire to be in. Now, how does that connect with service versus sales? It's difficult to maintain a mindset of service, and you have to do it consciously in the beginning of your business when you do not have abundance. Okay. I remember when we would sit down with people to teach them about our products and our business, I would, if they got excited about buying a certain kit, I would immediately start calculating in my brain, like what my commission would be like. Oh, that kit, that's $80 commission, right? And I'd be doing that because I had been trained working an hourly job. I'd walk around, and when I'd sit down to have a dinner with my wife, my mindset, I'd look at the prices and I'd be like, oh, this meal, that's 2 hours of my life. That's 2 hours of what I earn in my job, right? And that's the way I looked at money, right? And so when I came into network marketing and I looked at people, I started to see people as sales and have what we call commission breath, right? And people can feel it. And so you need to consciously decide that in every interaction with each person, instead of focusing on the sale, which yes, is gonna be important, but understand that sale has to come from a place of true, genuine service. You have to come from the place of, I have something of value. And that's where that belief in your product, your opportunity, yourself, your team, your systems, it has to be solid so that when you go to other people and you say, hey, this is for you, this is something I want to offer you, that it comes from a place of service and meeting their needs instead of meeting your needs. Okay. So, remember this. Remember, it's always service over sales. Sales is a part of what we do, but if it comes from a place of service, that's when you have power, and that's when you get residual earnings. One of the things that we're famous for in my company is we have the highest retention of any network marketing company in the world. Okay, which is a 65% retention. We have millions and millions of people signed up in the company. And like, that means if you were to go out and sign up 10 people, out of those 10 customers that you have, 6 or 7 of them are going to continue to buy the product, right? Most companies in our industry, they have a retention rate of 5% to 10%. Now, why do I bring up that difference? Because a big reason why our industry is burnt and a lot of people look down to network marketing and a big reason why, honestly, a lot of different companies have terrible retention is because there's not this aspect of service in place. It's this churn and burn of, let's bring in people as fast as we can. Let's get the hype. Let's get people to buy in, but you're not truly serving them, right? You're not truly finding the need, connecting your product or your opportunity to their need, mapping out a plan, putting a system in place. And I'm going to share with you guys some tips to really help you have a system in place with people that get started, to get them a result as fast as possible. And then a couple of team systems that you can put into place where you can drive team production and collaboration and a culture that's just magical. But you need to put into place this mindset of service, that sales really is service, right? So commit to serving people. All right, next mindset tip, doorway versus destination. Okay, doorway versus destination. Each person that you see, I want you to start to look at them not as a sale, not as a destination, but as a doorway. Remember that our business is called network marketing. That means that we market through networks. We drive lines, right? We work through people. And there's a lot of different ways that this will materialize. But when you understand this concept, you stop you stop feeling any scarcity, right? When we have people make their lists of who they want to present their opportunity to or their products to, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to invite 20 people, 20 people a week or 20 people a month so that I don't run out of contacts. And my mindset is like, look, you want to run out of your personal contacts as fast as possible, because each one of those people is a doorway. They're not a destination. They're a doorway. A lot of times you're going to sign up a customer who's going to refer a customer who's going to refer a builder. And that person is going to be the person that, boom, goes out and builds the business in a strong way, right? And so we're working through networks. We're never pressuring one person, trying to convince them to be something they don't want to be. We meet people where they're at, right? So if somebody wants to be a customer, leave them alone, let them be a customer, right? Maybe you continually invite them to step up in their level of belief, commitment, their level of loyalty as a customer. Maybe show them the door that, hey, you could share these products with someone if you're loving the products, and you could earn a commission, get your products for free. We're always showing doors, but we never look at somebody and treat them in a way that makes them feel like they're a destination, right? Now, a couple tips that I want to give you, a couple practical ways that this mindset can turn into rapid growth for you. I want to tell you another quick story. In the beginning of towards the beginning of our journey, I think we were maybe a year and a half into our journey in our network marketing company. And my wife turned to me and she said, you know, Matt, my dream is to go to London. We need to go to London, and we should go visit, all these amazing tourist sites that are in London. And I'm thinking like, okay, we're finally making some decent money in our company. You can see in the graph, like we were doing pretty good. We were doing good. We were earning like, thousands of dollars a month at this point. So things were moving along, but we weren't in abundance, right? And I remember thinking, how in the world are we going to go to London? And she was like, well, couldn't we do some business there? Like, how could we sign up some people and make it worth it for us to go? And I was like, okay, I'll make a deal with you. If you can schedule 8 classes, right? We call our presentations classes. You may call them, whatever you call it, but a presentation, right? And I was like, if you get 8 classes on the books where the person who's the host is committed to having 10 people there, then we'll book the flights and we'll go, right? In other words, instead of just saying, hey, go sign up 5 customers, right? We were looking for doorways to reach more networks. Now, what did she do? She came back to me a week later. She had reached out to 200 yoga teachers, because my wife's a yoga teacher. And she had scheduled these 8 classes. That meant that we had like 100 people committed to coming to these presentations. So what did we do? We booked the flight, we went there. And in our presentations, we always invite people to become hostesses for another presentation. And you can do this in person. You can do this on Zoom. You can get hostesses for Zoom classes, Facebook classes, whatever way you want to rock it. But at the time, we were doing almost everything in person at that stage of our business. And we left that day. We had like nobody signed up in Europe at that stage in our business. And we left that trip with, it was either 40 or 50 people signed up. Okay. Because we looked at people as doorways instead of destinations. So it wasn't just, how can we sign up a few people while we're there? Like, let's get there. No, it's in every moment as you're networking, think, how can I reach the contacts of other people? How can I, and we offered them, just so you're probably wondering, well, how did you get them to be a host? Well, we offered them a little kit of 3 of our products in exchange for them, bringing together some of their friends. So it was super fun. They got a gift. We made it a fun experience. And we left with a team that started to grow and started to build. So always ask yourself, like, how can I reach the next stage? And also understand that this means you don't need to pressure anybody. A lot of people in our industry, they live on pressure. Like, their business literally lives on pressuring other people into a business opportunity. And I think that's the worst way that you can build a long-term business, and you will not get to $100,000 a month by doing that, right? Okay, next mindset tip is the sprint versus the marathon. And that's where, again, I want to refer you here to our monthly income. And I'm actually going to show you another image of our weekly income. This graph right here doesn't include our weekly bonuses. And I'm going to share with you some insights from that. But I always ask people in every in-person presentation I do when I'm training our team, I ask people, hey, do you think that our business is for sprinters, or is it kind of a marathon? And most people will go, oh yeah, it's a marathon, right? Because we all know that it takes time to build and whatnot. And it's true, you need to have the patience of a marathoner, but you also have to have the mindset of a sprinter. So it's not actually sprinter versus marathon, it's sprinter and marathon. And what I mean by that is every single month, you need to treat the month as if it's a year of your life. Like you need to have a goal for growth, a goal for reaching some kind of new personal record every single month. Okay. Every single month you maintain the urgency, and you maintain it not just with yourself, but with your own team. And as you have that mindset, man, you're going to see things compound, right? And the example that I like to give is if you sign up 20 people in your business in 1 year, that's going to give you a great result, right? But if you were to sign up 20 people in a month, right? And then you have 11 more months for that result to compound for you, because some of those 20 people are going to go out and share your products, share your opportunity, and grow. And so we in this business, we seek to compress time frames, right? To pack into 1 month activity what most people would do in a year. This is one of our secrets of success, but also always maintaining the vision of the long term, because it is going to take longer than you'd like. And so one example of how I do this to this day, even as the top rank in our company, I just barely, the first 3 days of this last month, I checked myself into a hotel for 3 days. And I told all of our team, I told the main people that I mentor, which are our directs, right? I told our main qualifiers, listen, you're not going to hear from me from 3 days. For 3 days, I'm going to be prospecting, right? And I'm going to be talking to hundreds of new people. And in 3 days, I talked to over 200 new people about our products and our opportunity. Okay. Now I have also a marathon mindset where every single day without fail, now for the last at least 7 years, I've committed 1 hour to prospecting, right? And I have other trainings that will go into that. I'll give a little bit of insight in another module about what I do. And I do it on Instagram personally. But that 1 hour a day of personal prospecting is sacred, right? That's my marathon. That's like, I can do that no matter where I am in the world. I can commit to that 1 hour of prospecting, right? It's a part of my daily routine. But every once in a while, it's important also that you have this sprinter mindset of okay, I'm going to compress time frames. Like it's time, we're starting from scratch in our business, where we just opened up our second account, because once you reach the top rank, you can open your second account. So we opened our second account a while ago. Now that our first account is really solid, we're starting to build it from scratch. We're starting from zero, hunting and finding who are the people who we want to pour our time, our energy, and our resources into, but we don't want to grow slow. So what do? 3 days in a hotel where literally I didn't leave the room practically, except for to do my daily workout. But other than that, I was from morning until night talking to new people, starting new conversations, really looking for who wants to run, right? Who's hungry. And so that's just an example of how you maintain both the sprinter and the marathon mindset in everything that you do in your network marketing business. Now, the last tip that I want to give you here in this mindset category is motivation versus discipline. A lot of you in your life and in your business, you depend on motivation, right? Like you go to a convention for your company, which obviously is a must. You have to do that. But then for like a month, you're like on fire, right? But a month after your company's convention, maybe you take a whole month and you don't do anything in your business, right? And a lot of people, they live on motivation. If they're not constantly plugging into their team calls and whatnot, then they're limited. And now most people, they live on motivation. So us as leaders, we need to understand that. And we need to constantly have events, constantly have, monthly trainings, super Saturdays, whatever it is that you do in your company's system to keep people motivated. But understand that if you want to become a top income earner, we're talking about going from 0 to 100,000 a month. You will not get to 100,000 a month if you depend on motivation for you to show up. Okay. You have to have discipline. Discipline means that no matter what is going on in my life, like that, like I mentioned, with that hour of prospecting, like that happens day in, day out, come rain, shine, somebody can die in my family, or like something terrible can happen. Okay, maybe if somebody died, I wouldn't do it. All right, I'm not insane, but it's really, really rare. Like I don't miss my hour of prospecting. Okay. And that's because of discipline. So develop within your mindset, develop within yourself, not just that you rely on motivation. That's awesome if you do, but commit to discipline, commit to having your daily routine, having your daily minimums. What are you going to do every single day, no matter what happens, to achieve success in your company? Okay, these are the 5 mindset tips that I wanted to give you. Now in the next modules, we're going to go into some strategies, some really fun ideas, some things that I know are going to help you no matter what phase of growth you are in right now in your business. So with that, hope you loved this module, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.